Hello everyone, this is Matt the Speedstar here, and welcome to the bonus episode of The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. All that I've recorded so far shown here has been done before I recorded the episodes of the Sky Keep. Reasons being because there are some things up here that I wanted to get done before I did the Sky Keep, otherwise I wouldn't be able to show them. Anyway, up here I showed this off in episode 50 after the statue of the goddess plummeted down and wiped out Demise. You can see the medallions of the sages from Ocarina of Time. Just wanted to show that. Anyway, this little hidden goodie I didn't know about before until I looked it up. Anyway, if you claw shot the target up there, this is only available after you get the claw shots, of course. You'll find this flowery field, and it'll have 5 remlets laying around, and when you get close to them, they'll all get all cute and cuddly towards you. They're so cute, those little remlets. Yeah, other things with remlets are if you pull out one of your weapons, they will run away from you. Because, yeah, they don't exactly like you pulling out a weapon. Because they think you're gonna attack. They think you're going to attack them. Anyway, another thing you can do is you can pull out your harp, and I think they sway their heads when you play. I'm not sure if that's totally true or not. But another thing about the harp is that depending on where you are, when you pull out the harp and play it, I think the music that comes out of the harp is in tune with the current background music. I think this is more noticeable in Farron Woods, but I think I'm not sure how to say it, but yeah, it changes depending on where you are. Just wanted to bring that up while I was doing that. Anyway, that's all for, I think, up the statue of the goddess, so I will meet you, guess what? The fortune teller's house. I'm not sure if this is like a little hidden goodie or anything, but if you notice up at right there, you'll notice those crystals right there kind of look like a time shift stone, but without the symbol. I don't know if that's like a hidden goodie or anything, but I thought I'd show that. So, next up is at the Knight Academy. When you go to the room across from Link's room, which is so happens to be Garusta's room, you see Kalin's in there, still sad about what happened, about being rejected. Anyway, yeah, if you see that, there's Link's face on a punching bag, and if you roll into anything, that picture of Bruce will become crooked. Just wanted to show that. Anyway, next up is something that I've already shown in a previous episode. After you get the claw shots, after you get the claw shots, in order to get in here, you need to use the claw shots. Just hop down the chimney, and when you go down here, if you look down through the grate, you'll see Headmaster Gapora in the bath. And yeah, you guys already know about this. If you go in here, there's a couple of rupees, and this will go to Zelda's room. I'm only showing this because this is technically about Easter eggs, and I think there's something here that I missed, but I just wanted to go over all this. Anyway, if you sit down, you can read Zelda's journal. One of the entries is unfinished. Read the entry. Read it. Anyway, this entry so happened to have taken place before the game started. Zelda's writing about how she wants to be with Link at the end of the wing ceremony, so that sets into motion what she did with her loft wing. And if you can see there, she's got a Tingle doll on her desk. And then there's a picture up there. Not exactly that good a picture. Anyway, another thing you can do in the Knight Academy at night. If you go to Kalin and Stritch's room, you can see the other guy who hangs out with Groose, Stritch. And if you talk to him, you can see he brings up bugs again. Man, he's got such an obsession with bugs. It's weird. But yeah, he goes on about bugs, but another thing is, at night, if you have bugs, come to him, and you can sell bugs to Stretch for rupees. each bug has a different value, and he won't just buy any bug. He'll choose from 3 bugs that you may have that are available. Yeah, he'll choose from 3 bugs, and you'll only be able to sell those bugs at that time. So if you want to sell different bugs, you'll have to come to him at another time. So yeah, just sell bugs. Woodland Rhino will be able to go for 20. I'm not sure what others go for. I was just showing this. So yeah, I didn't know about this till I looked it up. And it just calls you a mantis face. Anyway, another thing is, I don't know if I showed this. If you go to the gear peddler who sells you your bomb bags, arrows, and such, and your shields, at night, instead of being a gear peddler, you can sell your treasures that you use to upgrade your items. You can sell your treasures for money if you don't need those treasures. And like with Stritch, you can't. He'll pick certain ones, and yeah. Anyway, one more thing. If you go into the waterfall cave at night, this is only available after the Goddess's Silent Realm. If you come in here and play the harp here, a thing of blessed butterflies, which I kind of did off screen one time, you'll encounter this gossip stone, which is actually calls himself the Moonlight Merchant. You can get rare treasures like God's Plume, Bird Feather, Golden Skull, or you can get Monster Horn, Dusk Relic, or Evil Crystals. You can get any of these at any time, and unfortunately, they all are very expensive. Anyway, another thing you do with gossip stones in general is if you play your harp, they will wiggle to the music. They'll just plain wiggle. Hit them with your sword, and they bounce around like they kind of do in Ocarina of Time. Sorry about that, I was trying to do something else. And yeah, if you say no, he'll mention he's a bit of a shady character. That's why his prices are very expensive. You can also do other things like blowing him with the gust spells, and he'll shake. You can use the whip. You can spin him around. Do that. And if you pull out your bow and shoot him, a green rupee will come out for every time you hit the gossip stone. And one more thing, there are other things you can do. One more thing you can do is if you pull out a bomb and it explodes right next to the gossip stone, kaboom, you'll see it tries to take off and explodes, like how they did in Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. Plus it respawns, which I don't think they did. Anyway, I wanted to show this one. I mentioned this when I was going to do the Sky Keep. If you come here at night, the statue there will be turned so you cannot place the Stone of Trials in, so you can't do the Sky Keep at night. I want to show that. And one more thing, at the Night Academy, which I think I showed before, you can sit on the toilet. And yeah, it basically acts like a place where you can sit and regain health, except when you get up, it flushes. Gross. Anyway, this next one also showed this in a very early episode. If you notice there, you can see Girahim right there burned into the wall. These are like part of the opening cinematic from the history before Skyloft, when, you know, the demons rose up and they want to just plain massacre everything. Then the goddess gathers the other tribes. You can see the ancient robot, Perella, Magma, Goron, and them. And it's just showing all the cinematics of how the story went. You can also do this in the past. After you've beaten Girahim for the final time, you can look at these in the past too. So yeah, you don't have to worry about missing this if you do this if you wanted to find it after you've completed the Skykeep. Anyway, this other one makes a reference to a very old Zelda game. After you've completed the Farron part of the Song of the Hero, whatever guide I was using said that you have to do this after you beat Girahim for the final time. If you if you reveal this Kikwi once more, you'll know you can't hide him anymore and you'll get a goddess clue. And after you get that, it's a secret to everybody. Hint, hint. You know what I mean, probably. Anyway, I just did this part here because I wasn't sure if I'd be able to show this, but anyway, glittering spores are something you can get in Faron Woods, and stuff can happen if you sprinkle them on bugs or monsters. And after a while of trying to look for one, after clearing off all those glaze, you can see a sparkling mushroom right there. If you hit the sparkling mushroom and pull out a bottle, you get some glittering spores. You get 5 doses compared to 1 dose of mushroom spores if you got it from a regular mushroom instead of a sparkling one. But yeah, glittering spores can do quite a few things. I wanted to see if there were any bugs here, but there weren't. Anyway, a thing you can do with glittering spores is not really that helpful, but if you sprinkle them near an enemy, that enemy is stunned, which makes it easier to kill. Might be helpful when you're dealing with enemies such as bokoblins and such. But yeah, I don't know if it like works on all enemies. It probably doesn't, but it'll work on some. Anyway, one thing I wanted to show is that you can see you occasionally have another Loftwing fly around. There's a guy on there. I wanted to show that. Anyway, sorry about that. I was gonna bring something up that they have tunics relating to the different colored tunics you can have in Ocarina of Time. Speaking of, there is another reference to Ocarina of Time in the Lanayru mining facility. Oh, I almost said it wrong. Anyway, if you look at the order here, you may notice this from the first dungeon in Ocarina of Time. Or as the famous quote is, 23 is number 1. Another thing in the Lanayru mining facility is after you've defeated the boss, Moldarak, if you go into the boss room, you can look at this after you defeated Moldarak. But yeah, if you notice how it looks very much like the ground floor of the Tower of Spirits in Spirit Tracks in a way. Because you've got all these different rails, and you've got the part in the middle that turns so you can choose a rail in which to go to. Anyway, on the way up to Skipper's Retreat, I saw some Gerudo dragonflies, and I thought I'd test out what happens if you sprinkle glittering spores near bugs. See, the glittering spores actually attract the Gerudo dragonflies and other bugs. It doesn't work on all bugs, but it works on quite a few of them, which can make them easier to catch. If you want to catch them. Anyway, another thing is, once I got up to Skipper's Retreats, this is not much of a secret, really. Just something I wanted to show. But yeah, if you sit down on that stool right there, File will come out and mention that there is a bug infestation in the upper area of the house. It's just a bunch of sand cicadas outside, because I don't really think there's anything up there, really. Anyway, after I clear out some of this, if you notice there's a reference to a movie on one of these paintings. If you look right up there, you'll notice that's supposed to be a Titanic reference because one of the robots is holding another one on the bow of the ship. And another thing here is, if you go up to these, it says, "Dear Captain, thanks for everything, yours the crew." If you go to this darkened one here, "Dear Dad, good luck at work." Aww. The skipper had a son. That's kind of sad in a way because there's no time shift stone in the skipper's retreat, so you can't revive them. But yeah, if you go to the skipper, he'll bring up his family and if he'll ever be able to go home. Yeah, it's very sad. He had a family. It's nice. Anyway, last thing before I end this off, if you go here, there is another reference. If you go here, only you can warn your coworkers early enough to avoid pirate attacks. A Smokey the Bear reference. Only you can prevent forest fires. Anyway, that's all for the Easter eggs I got to show, and yeah, that's it for Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. So, I will see you guys soon for my next Let's Play.